everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Tushangi Gupta and in this session we are going to cover part 2 of our 12-part video series on word power made easy. In part 1 we covered session 1, 2 and 3 of the book, in which we learnt about how to talk about personality types. Now in this part 2, we will cover session 4, 5 and 6 of the book and we learn about how to talk about doctors. So we are going to learn about various type of doctors, what they specialize in and what is that specialty called. So without further ado, let us begin the video. Our first word or first doctor for today is gynecologist. Now in session 1 we read about this root word called gyne, which means woman, and logos, which converts into logy as a suffix, which means science or study of something, for example zoology, biology, etc. So what is gynecology? The study of women, right? But the meaning has been boiled down to the study of female disorders. So the study of female and female related disorders is known as gynecology, and the doctor who treats female disorders is known as gynecologist. Alright, okay, by adding the suffix al we form the adjective form of the word, which is gynecological. So this we had covered in session 1. Now moving on, obstetrics. It is a Latin word, root word from Latin, which means to stand. Okay. So earlier midwives used to stand in front of the woman in labor to aid in the delivery and takes care of the mother. So in modern times, an obstetrician from obstetrics, this is the specialist which delivers babies and takes care of the mother during and post pregnancy. Now the doctor who helps in the delivery of a baby and takes care of the mother during and post pregnancy is known as obstetrician, whereas a gynecologist can treat a female disorder whether or not she is pregnant or delivering a baby or not. Any female who is married, unmarried, is pregnant or not pregnant, or in any age bracket, any female disorder, a gynecologist can treat it. For example, hormonal imbalance or PCOD, whereas obstetrician, this specialist delivers babies if they are mainly during the pregnancy and post pregnancy process. And what is this specialty called? It's called obstetrics. Obstetrics, the medical specialty dealing with childbirth. Okay, gynecologists are generally the doctors who treat female disorders, and obstetricians are those who deal with childbirth. And if we add the suffix ic or al, we get the adjective forms, which are obstetric and obstetrical. Okay, now so this comes from stand, obstetrics. Okay, now the suffix ician, right, as we have seen here, obstetrician, ician, it means expert. So wherever you see this suffix, it means the expert of that subject. For example, obstetrician we just read, physician, musician, magician, electrician. They are the experts of their fields, right? Someone who performs magic tricks is a magician. So magician is the expert in magic. Moving on. Now after women we come to doctors for children. So paidos is a Greek word which means child. Okay, and iaitria is medical healing, curing or healing is iaitria. If we combine these two root words in English, we get pediatrician, iatrician. So earlier we also read about ician. Okay, so इसमें there are 3 root words, paidos, iaitria and ician. So which etymologically it means child plus healing plus expert. So the doctor who is an expert in healing of children. What does that mean? The specialist which takes care of babies and children. So they mostly treat disorders related to children. Okay, and the medical specialty is pediatrics. Pediatrics, medical healing of a child, and pediatric is the adjective. We added the suffix ic, and pediatric is the adjective form. So pediatrician is the specialist, pediatrics is medical healing, and pediatric is adjective. Similarly, we see the word geriatrician, geriatrics and geriatric. Now geras means old age. जैसे pedos means child, वैसे geras means old age. So this specialist treats problem of elderly people, and the medical healing of elderly is geriatrics and the adjective is geriatric. So these are very easy because you can form analogy. Okay, there are similar words, only just by changing the main root word you get completely different meaning. The Aitria and Ischian are common over here, right? Okay, now we are also going towards this other root words. So agogos means leading. Okay, now earlier we read about pedos, which means child. If we combine these two root words, we get pedagogy, leading of children, the principles and methods of teaching. So when we teach a child, what do we do actually? We are leading a child towards something, towards becoming a better human, an educated human, a responsible citizen, an aware person. So we are leading a child. So the principles and methods of teaching. So we have made a subject in which we have combined all the rules or the theories, schools of thoughts and methods and principles of how to teach a child to be a good human being, a responsible citizen. So that study of leading of children is known as pedagogy. And pedagogic and pedagogical, these are the adjective forms. Okay, IC or AL add karke we have got the adjective forms. Then pedagogue is actually someone who leads the child. So basically it should be used for a teacher, right? But actually its meaning has been reduced down to a teacher who is extremely strict. Okay, as you can see here, a teacher, but the meaning has been deteriorated to narrow-minded, straight-laced. Straight-laced means very strict, who has his own ways, very dogmatic. Okay, old-fashioned, basically those who think that their way is the correct way and they do not promote questioning or doubting. They only promote imposing what they know, and they are narrow-minded, straight-laced and old-fashioned. So those teachers are mostly known as pedagogues. So we should not use this word for any teacher, alright, although etymologically it means a teacher, but its meaning has been changed. Okay, the PED you seen, pedestal, pedal, pedestrian is from pedis, foot. Okay, so basically these are two different root words, pedos and pedis. So you don't confuse with this. In pedestal and pedal and pedestrian is someone who is walking on foot. Okay, in this, these are formed by this root word, not this. Okay, see PED. The PED you see in these three words, they are all related to foot, as you know. So this comes from this root word, not this. Okay, now demos means people. We all know the word democracy, okay, which means rule by the people. So democracy means, demos means people. Now similarly, जैसे हमने यहाँ पे पढ़ा pedagogue, there is a word known as demagogue. So pedagogue was someone who is leading the child, a teacher. Now a person who is leading people will be demagogue. So etymologically it should mean the leader. A leader who is leading people should be called demagogue. But its meaning has also been deteriorated to a person who misleads, a politician who foments discontent among the masses. Alright. So basically someone who causes stir, someone who causes uproar and chaos has happened because of that leader, then we use the term demagogue. It should not be used for any leader because it is a derogatory term. And this thing is known as demagoguery, the practice of misleading. The act of it is called demagoguery. And demagogic, when you add the IC adjective, you get demagogic. Okay, so we read about doctors for women, for children, for elderly people. Then now our next topic is doctors for skin. Okay, so derma is a Greek root word which means skin. As you know, the powder known as dermicool, which we all know. So dermicool means what? Derma is skin, so it keeps the skin cool. That's why its name is dermicool. So now you will always remember this root word derma. So dermatologist, the specialist who treats skin diseases. Very easy. Derma and logy, dermatology, the science or study of skin is known as dermatology, and the specialist is known as dermatologist. And the adjective is adding al, dermatological, right? Now this was easy. but we'll cover more words with the root word derma. So hypo means under. You must have heard about hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism, and so hypo is under and hyper is over. So hypodermic means under the skin. So when needle penetrates under the skin, it is known as hypodermic. Needle that penetrates under the skin, hypodermic. Epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin. Epi is outermost layer of the skin, epidermis. Taxidermist. Someone whose business is taxidermy. And what is taxidermy? Preparing, stuffing and mounting the skin of animals. Someone who deals with the products involving skin of animals like leather bags or anything made up of fur, leather, all these things. Okay, so they prepare, stuff and mount the skin of animals. Taxidermist. Now pachyderm. Animal with an unusually thick skin. For example, elephant, hippopotamus, rhinoceros. They have very thick skin. So those animals who have thick skin are known as pachyderm. Dermatitis. You will see this itis suffix in other words also, like neuritis. Okay, neuritis. So that also it means something negative. It is a negative suffix. Okay, it mostly means irritation or inflammation or any disease of something. So dermatitis means skin inflammation, irritation or infection. All right, and who will treat it? Dermatologist. Now next we have doctor for eyes. So ophthalmos. Ophthalmos is a Greek root word which means eye. Okay, ophthalmos. You don't have to remember the word, just remember these. Ophthalmologist, the physician whose specialty is disorders of vision, who treats the eye related disorders, and the study or science of it is called ophthalmology. And when we add al, it becomes adjective, which is ophthalmological. It is also very easy. We are seeing the same pattern in most of the words: logist, logi and logical, right? Now this is the modern terminology. Earlier we also used to use this word oculist, which is not used anymore, but this also derives from oculus, which is a Latin word, and it means eye. So earlier we used to use this word oculist, specialist of the eye, and ocular, AR यहाँ पे add करके it has become an adjective. Ocular, anything that refers to the eye, ocular. Now we know mono means one. हमने पढ़ा था in monogamy. Mono means one. Bi means two. And poly means many, right? So monocle means a lens for one eye. Lens for one eye is monocle. Binoculars. Binoculars means ocular. So field glasses that increase the range of two eyes. Then inoculate means inject. So inoculate. See, there is no double N over here. There is only single N over here. Okay, it means to make an eye in your skin. Basically, if this is your skin and we are making an eye in it, means we are injecting something. Inoculate. That is why this root word is being used here, because when you are injecting, you are just making a hole in your skin, like an eye in your skin. Alright. Now optometrist. So optometrist is not someone who treats any disorders. They only measure vision. Okay, so they only prescribe you that what number lenses you have to get, +3, -2.5, all these things. And the one who dispenses glasses and contact lenses is optician. So whenever you go to any store to buy contact lenses or glasses, they first measure your vision. So the person who does that is optometrist, and then the one who sells contact lenses and glasses is optician. Okay, so these were the doctors for eyes. Next category is doctors for bones. Okay, so orthos. Orthos is Greek word for straight or correct. Okay, orthopedist, specialist who treats deformities, injuries and diseases of the bones and joints. So ortho means straight, pedist is regarding child. Then how is it a doctor for bones? So basically earlier children used to fall down, they used to get a fracture or a spinal curvature or something. So the doctor who used to straighten their bones, was known as orthopedist. But now this term has been generally used for all the people, not just for children but for all the people, that a specialist who straightens your bones. If you break a bone, you get a fracture or anything, the one who straightens your, corrects your bones is orthopedist. Okay, and the practice of straightening of bones is orthopedics, and the adjective is IC add karke we have made orthopedic. Now odontos is tooth. Okay, so people who have misaligned teeth, they go to a dentist. So the dentist who specializes in improving your bite by braces. So what do they actually do? They straighten your teeth, they align your teeth. So orthodontist, ortho is straight or correct and dont is tooth. So they are straightening or correcting your teeth, they are aligning your teeth, they are improving your bite. For example, sometimes people have cross bite, buck teeth, so they straighten all of it by braces or other techniques. So that dentist is known as orthodontist. Now the practice of straightening of teeth is orthodontics, and the adjective is orthodontic. Easy. Orthopedist, orthopedics, orthopedic. Orthodontist, orthodontics, orthodontic. We are noticing a similar pattern in all the terms we are studying today. So this was easy. Now our next category is doctors for heart. So cardia. You all know cardio, common term for exercises that increase your heart rate, for example jogging, running and all of that. So cardia is a Greek word which means heart. Okay, it has been taken from Greek language. So cardiologist, in English we have changed from K to C. So cardiologist, someone who specializes in treating disorders of the heart. So this specialist treats disorder of the heart and circulatory system. And the science or study of heart is cardiology, and the adjective is cardiological. Easy. Cardiac. Cardiac means refers to some malfunctioning of the heart. Like we say cardiac arrest. Okay, so cardiac is something related to the heart or the malfunctioning of the heart. Cardiogram. Electrically produced record of the heartbeat. So gram word जहाँ पे भी आता है, it means a record. Okay. So cardiogram is electrically produced record of the heartbeat. Cardiograph is the instrument that produces this record. So graph, when we make a graph, what do? We measure things. We make a graph, we measure things. So that machine which is measuring it, that instrument which produces is known as cardiograph, and this record of the heartbeat is known as cardiogram. Okay. Now our next category is doctors for nervous system. So we all know neuron. Okay, neurons. But this word has actually been taken from Greek language and it means nerve. Anything related to nervous system obviously has to have nerve in it. So any specialist who treats the disorders related to brain, spinal cord or the nervous system. Our nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord and all the nerves. So the person who specialists in the treatment of disorders of the brain, spinal cord and the nervous system is neurologist. Neurology is the science of neurons, which means what do neurologists study? They study neurology, and by adding AL we get the adjective neurological. Neurological disorder. In neurology we study about neurological disorders which are treated by neurologists. Right? Now neuralgia. Acute pain along the nerves, algia. Okay, neuro plus algia. Algia mostly refers to pain. So acute pain along the nerves is neuralgia. Neuritis. See, earlier we also studied dermatitis, right, which was inflammation of the skin. So now neuritis is inflammation of the nerves. This itis means some irritation or allergy or inflammation. Okay, so neuritis is inflammation of the nerves. Neurosis. See, whenever you see this word osis, it means some disorder. Okay, neurosis. We will also see psychosis. So osis is any disorder. Neurosis means nervous system ka disorder, which means if your nervous system is all over the place, you may have some emotional or personality disorder because your brain is not functioning properly, your nerves, your neurons are not wiring properly. So emotional and personality disorder is known as neurosis. Neurotic, a term person for suffering from neurosis. Okay. Anyone who is suffering from something like a bipolar disorder will be called a neurotic person. Okay. So now our last category for today is doctors for mind. Okay, so psyche is spirit, soul or mind. Okay, it is a very abstract concept. So the concept of spirit, soul or mind, which is intangible, and you cannot see it, touch it, you can only think about it or maybe feel it, but there is something intangible, that is psyche. Okay, and psychosis, okay, as we studied over here, neurosis. So osis means any disorder. So psychosis is psyche plus osis, which means a psychological disorder, psychosis. Psychiatrist, this specialist attempts to alleviate mental and emotional disturbances. So a specialist or a practitioner who is helping you to heal your mental and emotional problems which are intangible. So they do not do any surgery upon you like neurologist or cardiologist, or they do not perform any procedures on you like dermatologist or anyone. They only, how do they help you? By talking it out with you or doing various activities with you. Okay, so they attempt to alleviate mental and emotional disturbances. They encourage you to journal, go out in the sun, walk, eat healthy food, have your 8 hours of sleep. So by doing all this and by talking it out and by engaging in good practices, they help you alleviate mental and emotional disturbances. That is a psychiatrist. Sometimes they also prescribe some medicines which help you increase the amount of oxytocin or other happy hormones in your body. Now, the speciality of mind healing is psychiatry, as we had read about aitria, which means healing. Right, so psychiatry is the speciality of medical healing, and psychiatric IC laga ke we have made the adjective. So aitria is healing, psychiatrist an expert of healing the mind. Okay, so this was the session for today. We read about doctors for mind, for nervous system, neurologist, heart, cardiologist, orthodontist, orthopedist, optometrist, ophthalmologist and dermatologist. We read about demagogue, pedagogue and geriatrician, pediatrician, obstetrician, gynecologist. So many specialities and specialists we read about today, and that is all for today's video. This is Tushangi signing off. We'll see you in the next part. Bye.